Okay, here we go. We're going to paint a still life. So let's start with the lime. I see that the lightest color in that lime is yellow. So I'm going to load my brush with yellow and just slide around in a bit of a lime shape. That's simple. Pull it around. See how juicy this brush is? It's full of water and paint. And while it's still wet, I'm going to tap in this darker green. I'm going to have to make that, but I'm not scared. I'm going to take a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow and maybe another little bit of blue and maybe a tiny bit of this red, just a molecule of it. There we go. Maybe a little bit more blue. There's no way around it. You just have to look and see. All right, I see that that part looks yellower and this part looks a little darker. So in I go, around there, swoop, around there, come up around there, grab a little bit more, tap around there. Luckily, there's some texture on this paper, which has given it a little bit of that bumpy business. And I don't have to get it perfect. I just want to get the sense of a lime. Looks pretty good to me. Maybe I'll tap in a little bit more green right around here. Yep, I'm pretty content with that for now anyway. So I'm going to let that just sit and think about itself for a minute. While I'm thinking about it, I might drop just a few teeny grains of salt, and I hope it'll give that highlight texture. We'll see. I hope it will. We might get lucky. All right. So meanwhile, let's go over here and start on this big red onion. And I can see that the lightest part on here, except for those little ends, the root part, is a pinky purpley. All right, so let me mix that up. I'm going to take some of this rosy red and I'm going to activate it. I'm looking from there to there to see what I'm getting. That looks pretty good for an undercoat. So here I go. My brush is loaded with paint and water. And I'm just going around here and getting an underpainting of the lightest color I'm seeing, except for the highlights. But just, this is kind of like what we could call an undercoat. Make sure you got plenty of paint so it doesn't dry out while you're doing this procedure, because you want this to stay wet enough for you to add paint or take away paint while you're figuring it out. So I'm just making sure I don't let it dry out. Getting that big shape on there. Nice, 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 nice. I also see that it has a little bit of the outer skin coming up and over like that. That's fine. And the same thing happens here. goes up and out. All right, that'll be enough for now. Now I'm going to go in here and darken some of these areas. So how am I going to get that dark purple? I don't have dark purple here. I bet by now you've guessed. I'm going to take this red and this blue and mix them together. And it's too blue. I'm going to have to add more red. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, we're getting closer. Might need even a little bit more red. Maybe even just a dot of this red. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I think so. Might get a little bit more. Okay, and let's see if I can get that to go in there. Just kind of pulling down some of the dark to get some of those stripes. Okay, let's go over here and say, well, okay, here it gets pretty darn dark. So let me grab some of this and go in here. And I see that there's a bit of the dark here, so let me grab some of the dark and put it there. And some dark coming around there. You only have to get the sense of it. I'm not taking a picture here. And then I see a little dark there, so I'm just gonna snag a little bit of the paint that's already there and put it up there. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. All right, I can live with that for now. We'll let it just sit for a minute, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Let's go over here and take a look at how the lime's doing. I think it's doing okay, but I think I need to make it a little darker green right through here, because it's kind of navigated over here. So let's see, taking some yellow, taking some of this blue, mixing it up, maybe a molecule of that purple, believe it or not, for the darkest dark. And I'm just gonna go like this and tap and tickle. Doesn't have to be perfect, as you know, and I know, just the sense of it. I'm going to wet my brush, wipe my brush, and maybe just tap, 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 tap a little bit to get it to turn more gradually. Tap, 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 tap. You know, the best teacher is your eyes. Just keep looking up at that lime, asking yourself, is it lighter or darker here and there? So I squint. That really helps me to see what's going on, because it takes some of the detail away. I'm thinking if I had just a little bit of brighter yellow right here, it'll look good. I'm hoping. Pretty close. Okay, got another line to worry about, and because I don't want to have this one and this one bleed into each other because that's wet, I'm going to move this guy. Yeah. All right, so in my drawing, I have him behind this one, but I don't want to risk them merging. So here I go, just a nice little outline. Same thing, the undercolor is yellow, so I'm grabbing that and just getting that down in a nice loaded brush way. I'm using this lighter lemony yellow that you have on your palette. These are great brushes, by the way, because you can make the brush do details very easily because it comes to a point. And they're new. So just roll that around. It's looking good already. Okay, so taking a look, it looks like it's a little bit yellower right here. So I'm going to get some purer yellow and tap that in. And now I've got to get some of that green going. All right, swooping it in like that. Swooping it around. This whole side looks to be darker green. Loading my brush, tapping it in. I'm kind of leaving, if I get away with this, a little lighter spot for the stem end. This is called wet into wet. And this is also called charging in color, because you've got a wet surface. It's already got paint on it. It's already got watercolor and water and paint on it. So you've got paint on your brush and you just touch it and it charges right in there. You can scoot it around a little. Massage it around a little bit. I'm going to soften this edge a little. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to pick up that little brighter yellow spot like that. There we go. The way I did it, wet, white, and lift. Okay, that looks good, or good enough. All right. So, this is still drying, and I'm going to let it dry before I undertake the next step. So let's take a break.